Gregory, you're muted.
Not anymore. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday morning business chat. It's always fun to get together with everyone on Thursday mornings. As you know, we have a Wednesday morning director's mastermind call. We always come up with some juicy thoughts and ideas to share with you today, which we're going to do. We're going to preempt that a little bit before we get into that. We've got a few of our directors are going to share some ideas and insights into virtual meetings, watch parties for those that can't be there physically. And we'll talk a little bit about preparing for the upcoming convention. This is not a conference, it's an international annual convention. But as you've heard the rumblings, and some of you might even got a memo from the company, there is some winds of change blowing in our storyline and what our attorneys are deeming is compliant for us to say regarding our fabulous breakthrough phototherapy technology patches, which is going to change the way we're able to talk about our products here. And we're going to learn a lot more at the conference, but Connie and I were on the phone chatting about it this morning, and I invited her to jump on before she was off to work today, off to her other business. And so Connie, if you'd like to unmute yourself and maybe just share some insights, because Connie is our resident field advisory board member. And so she's kind of got an inside scoop. She's not allowed to share the inside scoop, but she's got some knowledge that is public knowledge now because a letter went out to the field yesterday to many of us.
And not everyone might have read it yet.
That's okay. And
Yeah.
so Connie will address it with that in mind.
Yeah.
Good morning, Connie.
Hello. And because of that, Robin, let me maybe I'll just do a quick overcap of reading part of it. One of the things that I think it's important to note on this is that when you're looking at this, it is saying advertising.
Hold that up for just a little longer so people can see it. Advertising guidance on permissible product claims, what we've been asking for a while.
But we can and
Got to be
cannot
careful what
say.
you ask for.
Right? What you can and cannot say. So this is US only. And the Canadians are probably like, welcome to our life. But this is for US only. And one of the things you need, these are advertising guidelines. Advertisement means publicly. Okay.
Point.
So, and they do state that in there as well. So I'm just going to read this first part. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. Your success in sharing our great products is to be applauded, and we're excited about LifeWave's future. We have created this document to provide guidance and help you understand what you can and cannot be said about LifeWave products. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has taken the position that all claims surrounding stem cells and healing, even those from natural products, will be regarded as a drug claim. Not fair, but it is what it is. The FDA asserts that claiming that the use of light to elevate peptides such as GHKCU is inappropriate for a general wellness product. After a review of our product position, our advisors, and these are FDA attorneys, people that work with the FDA hand in hand to keep the company safe. They're a very well-known firm. They are attorneys David has used for years, and a couple of other billion-dollar network marketing companies have used successfully. So they know what they're doing. And they said our advisors have recommended that we remove claims that include the mention of diseases and suggestions of healing, curing, etc. Following the guidelines, this document will allow us to remain in the general wellness category and will insulate us from future scrutiny by the FDA. So with that being said, what we're looking at cleaning up immediately, we've got a big ship that we have to turn, right? All over the internet. For 20 years, all kinds of things have been said, all kinds of podcasts, all kinds of everything has been done, advertising materials, etc. What they're really focusing on initially is one, doing the work that corporate needs to do to show that we are, as a company, making the moves to go in the direction we need to go, i.e. sending out letters to people who aren't compliant and allowing them time to get compliant, which I would say this team, we are very fortunate because I'm not aware of anybody on this group getting any of these letters. Some teams are having to struggle, much more broadly. But as we said, that as they're coming out, they're looking at us publicly taking the shift. They're looking at an international convention of a hugely business and a company and huge momentum, and we want to get ahead of it before convention. And so that's why the guidelines have gone out now to show that the company is making these changes. Letters have gone out where they need to be gone out, but they're not saying it all has to be changed today. What I would do is, if you have public things, because this is important, you need to look at your social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever social media you're using, and you really need to take down posts and clean up things that could be seen as making claims. You see all throughout this document, other than AccuLife, you can make no claims to pet use at all. This is intended for human use. So if you have social media you need to clean up, now would be the time for you to start looking at cleaning up your own social media. The other thing is, if you have a website, then you're going to want to clean up your website, and we're going to start working on getting this done. Some of the people who have websites, they have to make big changes. They have been assured that as long as they say they are in process of doing it, we have the time to clean things up. What we don't know is how it's going to fall out in the end. And we do know publicly versus privately.
Yes.
What you do in your own home, what you do in a private conversation is just that, it's private. So let's start really cleaning up our public thing. With that being said, there was some concern that we all have marketing materials we bought, things that all of a sudden technically aren't compliant. I think if you're using them face-to-face at this point, continue on until we're told otherwise. And then as a team of leadership, we'll go in and try to re-script things and find out from corporate exactly what we're going to be able to say and exactly what we're not going to be able to say as we move forward. So it's all preemptive. It's all to keep your businesses safe and the company safe. So I wouldn't have an overreaction. Now, with regard to recordings, when I do my team Zooms on a lot of them, I don't record them, and that is a private meeting. And when I do them, I make right out front, I have always said, we do not claim to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. The body has the ability to heal. We're simply giving the body the ability to make those shifts. Right? So you have some kind of precursor. If you're doing an event with somebody and they're on a call and they say, oh, well, I had lumpuckaroo and, it was cured by this. You have to step in immediately after that as the moderator and say, fabulous to hear that. However, LifeWave does not claim to treat, diagnose, or cure anything. You've got to make your disclaimers to help keep the company safe. This is really actually a long time coming. If you look at whatever is all over the internet, and it's about time that we started tightening this up so we all have a, really bright future with the company. So right now, if you look in the document, as you read, we can't make, right now they are saying we can't make claims to the science. My guess is that we will see how that rolls out in the future. But for now, the company has taken it off its website. Gregory and Robin do not have any of the scientific stuff into our website. And Gregory, right now we will have to make some shifts, but you do have from compliance a temporary thumbs up for that website. We just have to move forward. We'll be making some shifts.
That is correct. We have an approval from compliance for liveyounger.com right now. I haven't received that letter, so we're good to go. And I was assured, like you were, that, the company is not going to force immediate drastic changes upon us, although they published it. So for the most part, it's somewhat business as usual for a while, but I think we need to start readjusting to the change, and that's what the company and the attorneys recommended is, as long as we're showing we're moving in the right direction, we're making a course correction. And the analogy David gave to us when we were in Sardinia says, we've been, we're a young company, and the attorney says it's a 60-mile-an-hour speed limit, and we let you go 80 because we're a small young company. He says, well, you're not a small young company anymore. You're growing really nicely, and you probably need to slow down to 55. Okay. So we're putting the brakes on a little bit, slowing down to come into more compliance. It's going to be a gradual shift, but so I just want to let everybody know there is a shift in process. And at the conference, I'm sure we're going to learn a lot more about this. So I don't want anybody to panic or anything right now. It's going to be a gradual shift, and we'll replace one storyline with another. But, we really are a story-driven company, and it's the results that get people on the product. I was thinking we should rebrand it the Magic Patch, because it is. It's like magic. But it's science, so.
But we can't show you the science. Oh, Gregory, you're muted. There'll be adjustments, Gregory. I think once we get past, somebody asked me the other day, a doctor asked for this or that. You have to remember, these are published studies. They are public documents. That, with that being said, anybody can find the studies. We just can't publish them in conjunction with LifeWave. So I think that may end up being what the shift is. It remains to be seen. And I think we'll find out, they're just rolling this out. And so after convention, after the leadership's had time to get together and figure out where we're going to land, I think that's where it'll be. But I do know that the most compliance actions have been taken against social media. So if you have social media out there, clean up your social media immediately. That would be the big one.
Mm-hmm. Good advice.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't think we want to open this up for Q&A right now. Robin, did you want to add anything?
Yeah. I just want to reiterate what Connie said. The guideline about public is what you want to pay attention to. So privately, we still have freedom of speech, like in Canada. And Carl Krebs says, we now have empathy for you. They've been through it first. And you know what? We can all thrive. The majority of us work one-on-one, person to person. You have freedom to say and show whatever you'd like privately, but anything that has a public venue, anything that's recorded, anything on social media, start cleaning it up. And many of you have been asking in the chat about upcoming events. Continue doing what you are going to do. They're not going to do 100% crackdown right now. It's a transition, like Gregory said. So just be mindful of that. We're fine, and we will get through this. And in the architecture world, the quote is, with the greatest limitations becomes the greatest creativity. And it's our stories that build our business more than anything. And you guys know how to do compliance stories, what your limitations were, what you use this technology, and now what you can do. We can still do that. And that's what builds our businesses more than anything. So just remember that.
And I'll just say, Alex and Mac had a similar suggestion to my thoughts. We may end up with another website that's clinical studies on LifeWave technologies, separate from everybody else.
It doesn't say like.
So, this is a sidebar note to Liz. We probably need to download all those studies so we have the PDFs accessible in case we might need them.
Okay.
Okay. So, if I open this up for Q&A, we won't get anything else done. And, we have some important ground to cover because we're 14 days from convention, folks. And so thank you so much. Connie, do you have any final comments? Thank you so much for sharing with us this morning.
No. I mean, it's just stay calm. And as a team, we clearly are the most compliant team in the entire company. Just personally clean up your social media.
Yeah. So stories sell and, info tells. So we're going to become more story based, and the example that was given to us in Sardinia is two multi-billion-dollar network marketing companies that sell
Essential oil.
essential oils can't tell you what it does because the FTC cracked down on them. But they're two multi-billion-dollar companies,
And they're doing great.
and they're doing great. So, we're very creative, and so we will rise up to the occasion. So thank you again, Connie. And I want to shift gears a little bit and share something with you. I wanted to touch briefly on Monday night's call with Meredith and the video I played. If you haven't seen it, you must go back and watch the replay for Monday evening, because Meredith gave us permission to play a 11-minute segment of a talk she gave at the SPD monthly call the previous Thursday. Okay, last Thursday, a week ago from today. And I played it, and I'm going to share my screen because I got a little excerpt of what she talked about that we discussed in detail yesterday on the director's call, because we're 14 days from conference. And she said something, I'm always going to remember this: know before you go. That was a brilliant statement. And what she said, you should know, you need to know, who's going to be there on site with you. And we've already discussed, and create a team text list so you can communicate with each other. Hey, let's meet over in the back corner. Let's meet out by the fountain, and this is a great time to get together with your teammates who live all over the country, and some of them different parts of the world that you don't get to see except via Zoom, and you can actually break bread together. Number one, know who your on-site attendees are on your team. Number two, know who your virtual attendees are. And we're going to spend a few minutes, as soon as I get done with this, talking about having a watch party. And in my opinion, the bigger, the better. If you can't be there, or you have people on your team that can't be there, encourage them to invite people over to their home. Maybe, at the watch parties, they can have a potluck and some snacks and et cetera. Then you're going to have people, the replay attendees, people that can attend and haven't bought, that have bought a replay. Excuse me, I said replay attendees. This should be, replay attendees. I got to remember what we said and wrote. These are people that buy the virtual tickets, but they can't attend, so they're going to be waiting for the replay. And they found out that the replays will be available as soon as the session is over. So the morning session, it's a 2-hour session. Let's say that session, if you could watch it live, and then if you couldn't see it live, it'll start streaming again after it's over. So we're going to have a lot of people that'll be watching the replay because maybe they have a day job and they can't be there with us on Friday. They still should buy the tickets. And the people you really want to be looking for right now are the undecided. If you got people in your team that haven't bought a virtual ticket, right now there is an ability to scoop an on-site ticket for people if you're clever. The rumor is there might be some left at the company, and they're allowing us to transfer tickets back and forth. But I want to encourage every one of us to know on your team which of these 4 categories they fall into. Know before you go: on-site attendees, virtual attendees, replay attendees, and the undecided. And the work you have is get the undecided to step up and understand the value. So that's probably all I wanted to share, because we got a few of our teammates. I think that, Sunshower, maybe we'll start with you, going to talk a little bit about, having a virtual party, or a watch party in your home, and how fun that could be. If you raise your hand, I'll be able to find you. There you are, and promote you out to add a spotlight. So if you'd like to share some thoughts and ideas on a watch party, that'd be great.
Watch parties are really fun. Thanks so much, Gregory and Robin, for the opportunity to speak to our group yet another time. Watch parties, yeah. So one of the things that I think is really valuable, when I'm at the convention, I'm going to be writing down notes about when the really most potent things are going to be said, or are being said. So say it's day 1, session 1, at 10:10 from that time to 10:20, this person said this kind of stuff, and wow, that was really potent. so that when you do your watch parties afterwards, then you already have kind of a clue. Oh, well, if a person can't stay for the whole 3 days, then maybe you can like have little fast forward segments. This was really good. You guys got watch this. So I'll be doing that. It might be really smart for others at the convention and those that are doing your virtuals, you know, watching. Then when you have your watch parties afterwards that we get to do, then you have that already in place. That's exciting. Another idea that I have is people want to get the munchies, right? So maybe have some little munchies nearby so people don't have to get up and go off to another room. And then maybe your potluck is later. Another thing that I do to get people to quote commit to come to a party of any kind is say something like, well, I'm going to have this mixed fruit salad. Could you bring the grapes? And then they're like,
That's
oh,
so
yeah,
true.
okay, I'll be there. I'll bring the grapes. And the excitement of it all is fabulous. So that's about all I'd like to say. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Sunshower. That was wonderful because, you know, a lot of times you want people to show up. So let them know that they have an important role, like bringing the grapes, you know?
Great.
And I love your idea about, and I was going to mention that, so thank you for doing that. As you're watching, make note of these segments, because if you want to do a watch party later, you want to do the segments that relate to guests. You know, the whole conference won't. Yeah. What? I'm on screen.
Oh, no, you're not.
Well, I'm not pinned, but we so appreciate your wonderful contributions and you know, some of you might want to call your friends that are having watch parties and during a break and just say hi. You know, it's amazing here and we're so glad you're with us virtually. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Isn't this amazing? Yeah. Great.
Great.
Who else wants to share?
I think it was Darlene was going to share. Darlene, if you unmute yourself and raise your hand, I'll pin you so we can see you.
And thank you all for all the activity in the chat. I'm responding to people. So, but let's listen to this great input.
Okay, well,
I
know
don't see her on here, Gregory.
she must have left. I know she was on earlier. So Liz, you were going to share. So go over to you, Liz.
Yeah, well, I've done a lot of home parties in my past. Been part of teams that have created content for it. And we've got some great content to be able to do home events in the Live Younger Success resources section. So I would take a look at those guidelines there as to how to be able to put together a home party, because that's going to transfer over to the using the convention. And instead of doing a video that you have that you're showing, you're actually going to be linking to the company replay or live stream. So make sure that you're familiar with your hookups, whether it's HDMI cables. Practice beforehand. You can use any kind of video anywhere to make sure that you're connected, and have somebody else on the other. Well, I guess you don't need that because you're not doing a Zoom. That it can be heard loud enough, because you want everybody to be able to be heard. If you're doing it over a computer, you need to make sure that you've got loud enough speakers. If you're doing it on your TV, generally speaking, you can adjust the volume by using your TV remote control. So these are just all tips to be able to do. And then Gregory has put together a document for convention essentials that is now loaded up onto the What's New page on Live Younger Success. So there's a PDF there that you can download and, you know, make use of these tools, because that's going to be your best support. So back to you, Gregory.
Yeah, thanks. And this document, I brought it up on the screen, Heart to Heart Convention Essentials. That's the name of our conference. It's pretty cool. Heart to Heart. And major events can be really fun. And we've put together a list of how to get the most out of the experience. And the thing for me is be sure to have the cell number of your upline and teammates and plan on getting together wherever and whenever possible. And group texts are a great way to stay connected throughout the event. Last year we had a big pizza party. We're not going to be able to do that this year. We couldn't get a room big enough to do that. But this will be a really great opportunity to actually connect and hug some of your fellow Live Younger community team members that you only see on these Zoom meetings. That's so awesome. And also be mindful to meet new people, that are there, as spread your wings a little bit. So you can go through this at your own leisure, but I want to, just point it out that, it talks about Thursday night reception and 80s party. You can go back in time and dress up in your favorite 80s attire, whatever that might be. I think Robin's got a spiked wig she's going to be wearing. So I'll be looking for the gal with the spiked wig.
And it says name tag on the next one.
Oh, and the Wear White Friday, I wanted to mention this and wear your name tag. If you have a name tag, bring it. We're gonna run this by corporate to see if it's okay. We wear the name tag to say activate your stem cells. Personally, we're going to continue using ours probably for all time to come, but we may not be flaunting that at the corporate event because they're saying we can't publicly say that. That's a public event. But Robin belongs to a professional businesswoman's group, and she wears the name tag there, and people go, stem cells? What do you mean activate stem cells? And it's a great convention, a great getter. And here's a list of things to bring so you can be preparing for yourself. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody, and thank you, Liz, for loading this up into the Facebook group. And
No,
as
I
I
haven't
said,
put it in Facebook yet. I put it in what's new page.
oh, okay, what's new? So it's in Live Younger Success, and we'll add it into Facebook also. And if you have a name tag, bring it. And if you don't have one, you could still get one. And probably by Monday, I'll let everybody know if the company's going to agree or disagree with us. Looks like Heidi's putting white out on her name tag. Oh gosh. So Tim and Helen, real briefly, we're at the bottom of the hour, but if you guys had a quick comment you want to make, go ahead. You'll have to unmute though. Heidi, you had a quick comment you wanted to make?
You're on.
Yes, I was just going to comment on Sunshower had mentioned taking notes with timestamps. Now, this actually helped me recruit my second of 4 people that made me rank to manager. I had in my notes her specific symptom, and it was related to the blind guy at Nova that was like wearing patches for 6 years. And I remembered it, but I looked it through my notes and I put a star next to it. I was like, oh, I'm going to use that one. And I literally sent that clip of the YouTube video to her a week later. And Robin was helping me enroll her while I was driving to Arizona. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh. That's so awesome. Great job.
Hey, Gregory, it's Helen. I'm just going to say the
Helen.
same thing I always say, which is, get people from both of your legs at the convention and at your home parties, right?
Amen. Amen. Yep.
And Linda in the chat says we could cover the word STEM with bling on your name tag. Great idea. See, this is where the creativity is going to come in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Linda.
So we'll continue with our creative ideas as the countdown continues. 14 days and counting. Well, God bless you, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday, wonderful weekend, and we'll look forward to connecting with you again real soon. Bye, everyone. If you'd like to unmute and say goodbye, there's a good time to do that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
Robin,
you.
Gregory.
Thank you. Great
Bye.
info.
Beautiful to be a
Have a
part
great
of
work.
Leadership.
Bye.
You guys are awesome.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you
Super
so
info.
Thank you, Connie.
Yes.
And Robin and
Good job.
Gregory. And Sunshine.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Live Younger family.
Mhm.